The State University of New York at Stony Brook is a public sea grant and space grant research university located in Stony Brook, New York in the United States. It is part of the State University of New York system. The institution was founded in 1957 in Oyster Bay as State University College on Long Island. What would become the university moved to Stony Brook in 1962. Since its establishment in Stony Brook, the university has expanded to include more than 200 major buildings with a combined area of more than 11 million gross square feet across 1,454 acres of land. In 2001, SUNY Stony Brook was elected to the Association of American Universities, joining 4 private universities and 1 public university elsewhere in its state. It is also a member of the larger Universities Research Association, for which its president Samuel Stanley is a council president. The university owns Stony Brook Medicine, co-manages the Brookhaven National Laboratory. In 2005 acquired land for a research and development park adjacent to its main campus, and has 4 business incubators across the region. The university has a regional economic impact of over $4.6 billion annually, accounting for nearly 4% of economic activity in eastern Long Island, and research expenditures that have surpassed the $200 million mark annually. Stony Brook is the largest single-site employer on Long Island. More than 24,500 students are enrolled at the university, which has over 14,500 employees and over 2,400 faculty. Its athletic teams, nicknamed the Seawolves, are members of the America East Conference and the Colonial Athletic Association, competing at the Division I level of the NCAA since 1994. History. Origins in Oyster Bay. The State University of New York at Stony Brook was established in Oyster Bay in 1957 as the State University College on Long Island, by the Governor and State of New York. Established almost a decade after the creation of New York's public higher education system, the institution was envisioned as a college for the preparation of secondary school teachers. Leonard K. Olson was appointed as the first dean of the institution and was instrumental in the recruitment of faculty, staff and planning of the later Stony Brook campus. SUCOLI opened with an inaugural class of 148 students, on the grounds of the William Robertson Co-Planting Fields estate. These first students were admitted on a tuition-free basis. 1961 was a year of firsts, as 30 students were conferred degrees in the first commencement, and the university was appointed its first president, John Francis Lee. Lee left later that year due to political and bureaucratic matters regarding the future of the university and the central administration at Albany. Nevertheless, Lee fulfilled his primary task of reshaping the university from a technical science and engineering college of limited degree options to a full-scale university featuring liberal arts programs. Moved to Stony Brook in 1960, the Heald Report, commissioned by Governor Nelson Rockefeller, recommended a major new public university be built on Long Island to stand with the finest in the country. A report that would ultimately shape most of the university's growth for years to come. Ward Melville, a philanthropist and businessman from the Three Village area in western Suffolk County, donated over 400 acres of land to the state for the development of a state university, and in 1962 the institution relocated to Stony Brook and officially renamed as the State University of New York at Stony Brook. The campus had 782 students enrolled in 1962, and by 1969 enrollment had increased more than tenfold, surpassing the 8,000 mark, fueled by the large funding of public higher education in the Sputnik era. In 1963, only 3 years after the release of the Heald Report, the governor commissioned the Education of Health Professions Report. The report outlined the need for expansion of the university system to prepare medical professionals for the future needs of the state. The report was particularly important for Stony Brook as it recommended creation of a health science center and academic hospital at the campus to serve the need of the fastest-growing counties in New York at the time. Growth. In 1965, the State University appointed John S. Toole, a renowned physicist from the University of Maryland, as the second president of Stony Brook. In 1966, the university set forth initial timetables for the development of the Health Science Center, which would house the university's health programs and hospital. Despite the budgetary concerns and challenges from Albany, the university released a formalized plan early in 1968, and funding for recruitment of faculty was provided. At the same time, residential housing was expanded to 3,000. The Stony Brook Union opened in 1970. And in 1971, the massive expansion project for the campus library was completed. Despite the fast-paced growth, campus infrastructure often struggled to keep pace. Overcrowding, expansion, landscaping, lighting, and safety were persistent problems at the university, which led to multiple protests and growing tension between the student body and the administration. In January 1968, the infamous Operation Stony Brook drug raid resulted in the arrest of 29 students, and in the fall of 1968, tension climaxed as the administration and students decided on a 3-day moratorium to bring together the entire university with the goal of improving communication between the students, faculty, and administration. Despite the initiatives of the 3 days in improving the campus, on February 1973 a tragedy occurred when a freshman student fell to his death into one of the many uncovered steam pipe manholes at the university. The 1970s witnessed the growth of the university and its transformation as a major research institution of the SUNY system, with strong graduate programs and scientific breakthroughs like development of magnetic resonance imaging. But the university lagged significantly in undergraduate education, prioritizing graduate education and research over undergraduate studies and student life. By 1975, enrollment had reached 16,000 and expansion crossed over Nichols Road with the construction of the Health Science Center, which would be completed in 1980. In 1981, John Marbiger was inaugurated as the third president of the university and would continue the expansion of the institution. By the late 1980s, the administration affirmed the need to improve other areas of the institution, which included undergraduate education, student and residential life, and intercollegiate athletics. The university approved a decision to transition athletics to the Division I of the NCAA and followed with the construction of the Stony Brook Arena and the expansion of the indoor sports complex. Recent developments. The 1990s affirmed Stony Brook's success at building a research university with a strong undergraduate education. Under the leadership of its fourth president, Shirley Strom Kenny, the administration sought out to showcase the value of the institution. Kenny was responsible for campus-wide improvement projects which included large-scale landscaping, renovations of every residence hall, the continued growth of the athletics programs, the improvement of student life, ever-increasing research expenditures, a branding, marketing campaign, and the university's increasing ties with private philanthropy. In 1998, the university broke into the top 100 of American research universities in the U.S. News & World Report, and its relatively affordable tuition placed it among the best values among universities in the nation. That same year, the University and Battle Memorial Institute were chosen by the Department of Energy as joint operators of the Brookhaven National Laboratories, joining a selective group of universities that operated national laboratories across the nation. Enrollment reached the 20,000 mark in 2001, and the administration's improvement efforts climaxed with the invitation to the highly selective Association of American Universities, an organization of 62 universities across North America committed to a strong system of research and education. becoming only the third public university in the Northeast to receive such invitation. 2002 saw the opening of the $22 million Kenneth P. Laval Stadium, and the inauguration of the massive Charles B. Wang Center dedicated to Asian and American culture, funded by a $50 million donation from Charles B. Wang, at the time the largest private donation to a SUNY institution. In 2003, chemistry professor Paul Lauterbur received a Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his research and discovery of nuclear magnetic resonance, which was instrumental in the development of NMR imaging while at Stony Brook. In 2005, the university bought the flower field property adjacent to campus through eminent domain as land for the development of a research and development park. Plans for a law school were in the talks, but scrapped shortly after. In 2009, President Shirley Strong Kenny stepped down, and in May 2009, Drive Samuel Stanley Jr. was announced as Stony Brook's fifth president. The late 2000s saw the university receive historic philanthropic donations, with Jim Simons making multiple multi-million donations, including $25 million donations to the Stony Brook Foundation in 2006, a $60 million donation for the development of the Simons Center for Geometry and Physics in 2008, and a landmark $150 million donation to the university in 2011. Other major donations were provided by alumni Joe Nathan, Stuart Goldstein, and Glenn Dubin for major renovation of athletic facilities. In 2010, Stanley announced Project 50 Forward, a comprehensive plan for the development of the university in the next 50 years with a focus on operational excellence, academic greatness, and building for the future. 2012 saw the approval of state legislation allowing university centers to rationalize tuition increases for the next 5 years and the inclusion of a capital challenge grant for each university. A landmark bill providing greater autonomy for the centers known as SUNY 2020. Stony Brook saw the completion of the long-awaited campus recreation center and the in-campus hotel. The renovation of the old chemistry building and its conversion to a classroom building was done by Flad Architects, the design team, and Leslie E. Robertson Associates, the structural engineers. The $40.8 million construction of a new computer science building are underway, while the $21 million overhaul of the Stony Brook Arena was completed in October 2014. Among future projects is the construction of a residential complex adjacent to the Wang Center, renovation of the Stony Brook Union, and the construction of the $194 million Medical and Research Translational Building. In 2013, Stony Brook received its best ranking ever in the National University category of U.S. News & World Report, ranked as the 82nd best university, and 34th best public in undergraduate education.